Hello Year 2 and welcome back to another week of online learning. I hope you had a lovely weekend, but let's get started on our maths. So today we are looking at dividing by 2. So to start off with, we are going to complete the following calculations. So we've got lots of 2's to be added. So remember, if I've got the number 2, that means 2 things. So I can count up in 2, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8. And then how about this one here? What's the answer? That's right, it is 10. So we've got 8 and 10. Now this time we are multiplying our numbers by 2. Remember, that's the same as doubling, but we are multiplying them by 2. So have a think, have a look now. Do you think you can have a go at answering those questions? Pause the video if you'd like to, and I shall put the answers up now. So 2 multiplied by 4, or switched around, equals 8. 2 multiplied by 5 equals 10. And 6 multiplied by 2 equals 12. How many groups of 2 are in this array? So if they're groups of 2, that means it's going to be 2 in each group. So there we go, it's showing us the groups of 2. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 in the array. Okay, so we've got some children and they are playing a game. They need to get into 2 equal teams. How many will be in each team? 2 equal teams. Let's count up how many there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 children into 2 equal teams. Do you think you know what the answer is? Let's find out. It is in fact 4 children in each team. So now we have children and they need to get into 2's. So instead of sharing them out into 2's, into 2 groups like we did on the last slide, this time we are grouping them into 2. So how many pairs will there be? There you go, there are 4 pairs. So just like on the last slide, we had 8 children divided by 2 groups, gave us 4 children in each group. This time, we've got 8 children grouped into 2, so divided into 2's, which gave us 4 groups. So that first one was sharing, 8 divided by 2. And the second one was grouping. So the same the same division sentence, but one method was sharing and the other method was grouping. Here are 12 flowers. The flowers are shared equally between 2 pots. We've also got the flowers are grouped into pots of 2. So that top method is sharing. The bottom method is grouping. Which one do you think would be easiest for you to use? Okay, so we're going to have a go at sharing out the 12 flowers into 2 groups. So how many flowers will be in each pot? Let's find out. So sharing one at a time to make sure that I end up with equal groups. How many do I have in each pot, each group? I have 6. So that was 12 divided by 2 equals 6. 12 flowers divided into 2 groups, or shared out into 2 groups, equals 6 flowers. Okay, and this time we are going to group the flowers into 2's. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. How many groups do we have when we group 12 into 2's? So there are 6 pots of 2. That was the same as what we did last time. Rather than sharing into 2 groups, this time we have grouped them into 2. So 12 divided by 2 equals 6, because we've got 6 pots. What if we had 13 flowers? The flowers are shared equally between 2 pots, or the flowers are grouped into pots of 2. So we'll have a go at doing these again. What if we had 13 flowers? So here we go. Shared out equally, one at a time. We skip that stage though. And look at that, we have got a flower left. Now, there's nothing that we can do with that flower. If we had another flower, we'd be able to share them out equally, but we can't. So in fact, we have one flower left over. And same again, if we were to group them into twos, we have another flower left over. So which groups can be divided by 2 with no flowers left over? So have a think. We've got 5, 6 and 7. So there's one left over when we divide 5 by 2. When we divide 6 by 2, we're able to do it. There are 3 pots. But when we divide 7 by 2, there's a flower left over, so we can't divide 7 by 2. So you can have a go at the worksheet now if you'd like to, doing questions 1 to 3. But if not, I will carry on and you can have a go at the end. So 16 divided by 2. We can use a number line to help us, just like we did last week, and make sure that we count in twos. So the amount of jumps will tell us what 16 divided by 2 is. So that's 1 jump, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jumps. It wasn't 8 ones, we counted up in 2, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, but there were 8 jumps. So 16 divided by 2 equals 8. The answer tells us how many jumps it took in twos from 0 to 16. You could also do it the other way. You could start on 16 and go down to 0 and see how many twos you need to jump in order to get to 0. So I'm now going to show you a way that we can use multiplication to help us work out division sums. So we have got 2 groups of 12 here. That's 12 along the top, 12 along the bottom. The 2 colours are now showing us in groups of 10. And onto this side, it shows us 12 and another 12. Now, why is this going to help us? We know that the answer to the division sentence is 12. So why does 2 12s help us? Well, in fact, because when we are dividing something by 2 and we don't know what the thing that we are dividing is, we can multiply the answer by 2. So 12, we can multiply by 2 to find out what that missing number is. So we've got 2 lots of 12 here, which is the same as multiplying 12 by 2. What is our total? That's right, it is 24. So now we've got the whole division number sentence. So 24 divided by 2 equals 12. So same again, missing number. We can multiply the 10 by 2 to find out what the number is. So we're dividing by 2, so going to multiply the answer by 2 as well. 10 times 2, can you remember from last week? 10 times 2 is 20. Well done. So you can have a go now at the rest of the questions on your worksheet. Remember that if we are dividing something by 2 and we don't know what the beginning number of our division sentence is, then we can use multiplication by 2, so multiplying by 2, to work out that missing answer. Okay, best of luck.